Hey guys, out in the garage we're going to do the first oil change on the Tiger 800 XCX Low. Okay, so first of all, you'll notice that I have a paddock stand in the back. The Low version does not come with a center stand. You kind of feel gypped in that way. But first thing we're going to do is we are going to take an Allen key screw to the two Allen screws up front here. This is our skid plate. We're going to remove this so we can not make a huge mess. Although I have a habit of making a mess, so. Get your trusty 12mm socket. There's going to be 3 or 4 bolts basically. Here's one right there. There should be another one there and there. And once we take those off, it should drop the pan. And there comes the pan. Okay. First things, keep your bolts together. Set that aside. And now we have access to everything. Our oil sump pin right there. And our filter right there. Well, it ain't anything with a bike unless I don't have to go to Napa and buy a part. This is an 8mm socket or torque wrench capable Allen key. You're going to need this for this. You don't really need it for off. You could just use any old 8mm, but the problem is I needed one that I could torque spec once we're done. So we're going to undo our oil pan, our oil nut. It's going to be a messy one. So wear gloves. Don't wear a tuxedo. And while that drains, we'll go ahead and take off our oil filter. You can use a nice tool like this. This is just a retrieval tool. Okay. So that's gonna drain out for a minute. When you put this on here, it will pick up some of the old oil, and you know it's not so direly important that you just want to make sure there's no grime in it. That's an important thing. And the real threat with this, of course, is it'll be really hard to get off the next time if you don't do this. So, and this does not say to fill it with oil, which is interesting. And I have decided to go with a K&N air filter. I'm sorry, oil filter. I like the K&N filter. You can't see this probably right now, but there's actually a nut into it, and this is supposed to tighten down to 7 foot-pounds. Okay, as I said, I like the K&N because it gives us a nut to actually go to. We have our torque wrench set to 7 pounds. Next, we're going to torque spec our oil pin. Remember to put a new seal washer on, new crush washer. $1.50 at the dealer. So this is going to be 18 foot-pounds. Hand tighten all the way up. And that is 18 foot-pounds. So next we're going to add some oil and put her back together. Okay, now they say it takes about 4 quarts, and it recommends a 4T fully synthetic oil, so I went with Mobil One. 1040. It says 1040 or 1050. Depends on your weather, your climate, that kind of thing. So we're going to add these 4 quarts and see if that does it. Okay, now we're on the overfill line. If you can see that, it's hard to tell probably, but when we start it up, it should scoot down, because remember, the oil filter is going to need some of that oil. So alright, I'll start it up and then we'll read it. Okay, make sure before you start it that you put your screw back in. And I gotta say, that was one of the most stubborn oil screws that I have ever had the misfortune to try and get back in there, and I may have to take it off again, so we'll see. And if you can see that, we are, let me see if I can get you an angle. We're low. So our filter did suck up that oil. Some oil filters want you to put the oil in before. This one said nothing about that. Also, other videos online have verified that they're not adding it before. So now on the stand, if you can see that, it's hard to get an angle where you can see, but where you see the line. And it looks a little bit low, but my suspicion is that when we take this bike down and level it out, it's going to be right in the middle. If not, go buy some more oil. Oh, and one quick tip, you don't want to, when you're putting this guy back on, don't over tighten anything. None of this stuff was insanely tight. Look at that. We're golden. Heck yeah. Well, that saved us a lot of money. Hopefully it saved you some money. There's a couple other good videos online. Piston Slap did a great job on one. Only difference between this and the one he did is this is a low. So you know you've got a low if there's no center stand and you're an XCX. And you can really tell by this, what they call the dog bone section, and this linkage. It sticks down lower. I'm actually planning on getting rid of that. So we're going to actually do a mod project where we make this a standard height but with progressive springs. So until next time, this is Drangus signing out. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. See you next time. Bye.